Yeah, you ready? Okay, Mary, what does this mean to you?
Well, it means everything because it means a continuation of encouragement for young people in Northern Ireland to get involved in sport. It doesn't have to be athletics, but as they come and see this wonderful venue that Belfast City Council spent 2.5 million on upgrading, they may be inspired, but there's also other sports that they can take an active interest in, and I hope it is an inspiration to a whole new generation of young people.
Is this humbling for you?
Very humbling. So I always said I didn't want a bronze statue, but I think that it's nicer to have it in your lifetime and you have some control over the work that's done. And I saw it last Monday in the Foundry and I just went, wow, because John Sherlock is such a fine sculptor.
When you look at this for the future generations, what do you want them to take out of this?
I want them to feel that I was a very ordinary little schoolgirl who rose to be Olympic champion, and it was because I was given many opportunities, but I took those opportunities. And sometimes people think, no, it's not for me, but if you don't try, you never know. And I wasn't a great athlete, I just was given those opportunities, and I did it under difficult circumstances because it was through the years of the Troubles, and 1972 was a really bad year here. We had a track that was crumbling because it was an experiment. I worked full time. I had to travel on 2 buses to get here to do my training. So it wasn't an easy journey. But when you stand on that rostrum and hear your national anthem being played and you receive your gold medal, it's worth it.
So what's the everlasting memory you have of your career?
Oh, standing on the rostrum. Unless your name's Ben Johnson, they can never take a gold medal away from you.
You know, this is personal for me because, not only is Mary an Olympic champion, and that's a very obvious thing to say here today, but I don't think there's anybody that quintessentially defines legacy as well as Mary has. You know, it was on the flight home in 1972 that she's trying to figure out how she could capture for generations to come what she herself had just achieved hours earlier. And then again, she has almost been a permanent fixture in my career because she was my team manager in 1980 and in 1984 in Los Angeles, and that was a crucial level of expertise to have around you when you're a young athlete, not properly understanding the enormity of what you're doing. And then, of course, at another big moment, which was the opening ceremony at the Olympic Games, she paid us all the great honour of being part of the final torch-bearing team that lit the cauldron in asking athletes of the next generation to do it on their behalf. So, yes, I'm here for, my mountainous debt of gratitude and massive, massive admiration for what Mary's achieved throughout her life.
I think we're tremendously proud of the Mary Peters track, reborn, refurbished, £3 million, and really for the first time I think the track itself, the magnificence of the track matches the ambition of our young people, and that's a tribute to Mary Peters today.
Well, probably the biggest question heading into the London Olympic Games was who would light the cauldron. Would it be David Beckham? Would it be Sir Stephen Redgrave? Maybe Daley Thompson? Maybe even Mary Peters? Well, in the end, she nominated one of the 7 young athletes who lit the Olympic cauldron. That was Katie Kirk. I have to say, Katie, you caught the world by surprise. How did it feel when you lit that famous flame, the most famous in sport?
It was pretty unbelievable, I have to admit. I wasn't expecting to get chosen, and to be honest, I think that all the 7 athletes took it in our stride because we were so well rehearsed. It almost didn't really feel like it had the significance at the time, but obviously watching it back, it was just unbelievable. But I think at the time, I don't quite realised that it was actually as big a deal as it was until maybe the aftermath of the Olympics that I kind of hit me and sort of realised just how many bets had been placed on it.
When did you know, when were you told that you would be one of those lighting the cauldron?
About 2 weeks before the event. We weren't really given much information. It was just, come to London, we've got something for you to do. And we actually hesitated. I was meant to be racing in Amsterdam. So we kind of didn't really commit to it, and then they told us actually what we were doing, so we kind of had to go. There was no brainer at that point.
And I bet you had to be sworn to the utmost secrecy.
We actually had to sign a contract. Yeah, saying that we wouldn't tell anyone about it, that you weren't allowed to tell media, you weren't allowed to tell anyone apart from immediate family, so it was pretty secret.
So the field for the men's 1500 metres. Lots of international talents here. John Coughlin, Rory Finnegan from Letterkenny AC, and his clubmate Darren McBrearty, also Paul Robinson from an Irish point of view. Wales represented by James Tighe and the late entry Adam Bitchell. Australia have got an Olympian in Collis Birmingham in this field. 3 3/4 laps, the men's 1500 metres. It's Gareth Hill, John Coughlin, Shane Fitzsimmons. It's Rory Finnegan, Conor Bradley, Collis Birmingham, Nick McCormick of England, Darren McBrearty, Steve Mitchell, Danny Mooney, Paul Robinson, John Travers, James Tighe, Colin Costello and Adam Bitchell. They're the 15 in this men's 1500 metres.
Yeah, this has the makings of the race of the night. Will, there's a really strong field. The fastest man in the field is Collis Birmingham from Australia. He's run 3:35. We'd be looking for a big performance from the Irishman Paul Robinson, who's run 3:37 this year. He's back down from altitude. And Nick McCormick of England, he is the fastest man. Nick McCormick has run 3:33, but that's a few years ago. And a very good field of Irish runners in there as well.
Yes, well, it's Paul Robinson in a good position currently in third place for Ireland, wearing the blue and making a good move. Now they're strung out quite heavily already, but John Coughlin you can expect an awful lot of. Man who's broken the 4-minute barrier in the past couple of years and even making a good move now. Colin Costello also in the black and red, but Conor Bradley, City of Derry Spartans, looking to make his mark also here.
I suspect the two boys in front, Conor and Colin Costello, are there as pacemakers for the two boys in blue, Collis Birmingham and Paul Robinson, because the pace is fast from the word go, probably faster than Colin Costello certainly is fit enough for at the moment. Colin will take it up. He's going through 700 metres now. He'll probably try and bring them to about 1,000 metres, and then it'll be up to the two boys in blue to fight it out.
It is the boys in blue to watch. Paul Robinson of Ireland and Collis Birmingham of Australia, who's been a regular in the last few major global championships, the Olympic Games in London. Didn't make much progress there, his best performance being in the World Championships in Berlin. Well, take a look at what's happening behind Colin Costello now as the movement is made by Collis Birmingham ahead of Paul Robinson, but also performing quite strongly at the moment is Conor Bradley of City of Derry Spartans, with Adam Bitchell of Wales up there also. Quite a bit of a gap opening up, but Colin Costello, who leads here as we're heading towards the bell now, he drops out, and now the real race can begin. Collis Birmingham and Paul Robinson are the leading two. Bit of a gap behind the back then. Here's the bell.
Well, they've hit the bell in 2:40. They'll be looking to see what they can do for the last lap. You're looking at a sub 3:40 race here. Conor Bradley having a very good run in third, John Coughlin fourth, Darren McBrearty fifth. But they're well spread out as they go through 1,200 metres in 2:54. So this is Collis is stretching. He's asking all the questions of Paul Robinson down the back straight. Paul has a very good finish, so I wouldn't write him off yet as they approach 200 metres to go.
Collis Birmingham took up the story when the last pacemaker dropped out, and he's maintained a good advantage of 10 metres or so over Paul Robinson. But can he maintain that in the final 100 metres? Birmingham making good movement. Robinson trying to push up behind him. Birmingham in the closing straight. Robinson trying to close him down, getting a lot of home support and grimacing too, but Collis Birmingham has too much for him. Birmingham is going to win for Australia. It's Robinson in second place, and John Coughlin will come home in third. Bit of a race for fourth here, with the win for that going to John Travers, ahead of Shane Fitzsimmons in fifth place.
And let me say, Will, behind the two boys there was a host of great times from the Irish boys, all coming in around the 3:42, 3:43 mark. I suspect Paul Robinson might have nicked his PB. If the winning time was 3:37.18, Paul was probably no more than half a second behind. So that's a really high quality race on a very good night. Two first and second in the 3:37 mark, and then a host of 3:42s. Young Shane Fitzsimmons was looking for a European Junior qualifying time. I can tell you he got it here tonight.
Collis, a second or so faster than your last race in Finland. Happy with that?
Yeah, very happy. It's always good to be going in that direction, getting quicker, and got a few good important races coming up, and obviously getting ready for the World Champs. So it's just a good direction to be heading.
What's the plan leading up to the World Championship?
I've got 5k race in Birmingham on Sunday. I want to get the qualifier for the 5k there. I'm already qualified for the 10, but would like to do the 5, so hopefully that happens there, and then just go train some more and get ready for them.
Set any goals for times when it comes to the World Champs and what you want to do?
Not really time-wise. Be nice to make the final. That's the goal.
So the men's 400 metres, this is the first heat of 2. Adam McComb of Northdown is 2, Joe Dowling 3, Jason Harvey of Crusaders 4, Chris Robertson of Scotland 5, Rory Evans of England 6, James Hunter of England 7, and Owen Mulhall on the outside in lane 8. And away, Jason Harvey, strong start, very great weekend for him, for Ireland in the European Team Championships, where Ireland won the 4x400 metres relay, and a high finish for him as well in the individual. Also going strongly in lane 5, Chris Robertson of Scotland, who's already caught up. Rory Evans alongside him, the Englishman, is in lane 6. Harvey fighting back on the bend, but it's Robertson at the moment who leads for Scotland. Mulhall trying to hold his own on the outside in lane 8, but as they turn, it's 5, it's Robinson, and Harvey trying to get back into this one. Rory Evans also now coming good in the final 50. Rory Evans will take this for England ahead of Scotland's Chris Robinson, and just catching up Jason Harvey on the line. 4th, 3rd was James Hunter. Well, the winning time was 46.46. And that is a lifetime best.